Record. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to Focus IELTS 15 Minutes podcast. Today we have Mr. Gustin, one of our
Hello,
fantastic IELTS
everyone.
teacher today. Thank you very much for joining. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Hi, Miss Camila. My name is Gustin Lawis. So I have been an English teacher since 2009. Actually, I started in 2009 as English debate coach for my university. But then for IELTS, I actually started teaching IELTS in 2015 for the first time, actually. Yeah, and I have been teaching English for around maybe 11 years, around 11 years now. So it's been fun actually.
Okay, thank you very
Mhm,
much. Wow, that was quite an introduction.
mhm,
We've heard about your education background, and
mhm.
could you tell us, and you know, would you say that your educational background has motivated you to become a teacher, or is it the other way
Actually, I
around?
didn't. Yeah, it's actually the other way around. I didn't actually plan to become a teacher. So let me tell you a little bit about my background of studies. So I studied English literature. Basically, when I was studying at university, I studied novels. We did research, and then we discussed about plots, motives of the writer, and then the other issues presented in the novels. And I also learned linguistic translation, but I didn't actually learn teaching. But I first began interested in studying in teaching English when I was chosen to be the debate coach for my university at that time. I was studying at Sanata Dharma University. And at that time, although I did not know a lot about teaching, but then my seniors and also my lecturers helped me a lot in designing lessons and designing practices for debate sessions. In 2011, when I was studying, while I was still studying there, I tried to apply for a part-time teaching job at All Place Yogyakarta, and there I actually got trained a lot more in teaching grammar, vocabulary, and other core skills in English, such as reading, listening, writing, and speaking. And I can say that I actually learned a lot about teaching from that company.
I see.
Mm,
Wow.
mm.
Sounds like wonderful experiences.
Yeah,
Mm,
it was wonderful.
yes, okay. That was interesting, especially about the debate part. I myself, believe that most people become very interested in English when they start to join, debate competitions, because I
Mhm.
also experienced that too.
Oh, you also experienced that?
Hmm.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
debate
I
competitions
think
were actually fun.
uh, yeah, the thing about debate competition is that it actually really trains our speaking ability, right? And I
Yes,
think
it
it also
does.
trains public speaking also, right? Hmm.
Yes, especially when people kind of like
Hmm.
say something you are actually opposing to, and the way
Hmm.
we use our language during debate is quite
Hmm.
interesting because we
Hmm.
have to defend our points, and several
Yes,
concepts are
exactly.
used there too in English.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mhm. Okay, so my next question, you've had a lot of experiences. Both teaching and your educational background is quite fantastic too. So, are there any more motivations for you to have good or excellent, actually, English proficiency?
Oh, okay. I actually fell in love in English culture and language back when I was at school. Maybe when I was at school, I was not really good in other subjects. I was kind of okay to, yeah, my English was not very good when I was at school. But then when I was in senior high school, I met one teacher, and we are still friends today. I mean, right now, I'm also teaching at school besides teaching at Focus IELTS, of course. But then this teacher actually changed my life a lot because our English teacher never complimented my my accent or the way I spoke. But then she actually gave me some compliments and encouraged me to join many activities at school. I actually first learned about speech and debate when I was in senior high school. And although I was not speaking very well, my teacher sent me to competitions, when I was in senior high school, but I didn't win any actually. I joined many times when I was in 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. I joined so many competitions, but I never won any. But then there was actually one debate competition that I won together with my two other friends when I was in when I was studying at the 12th grade. Yeah, and we won that competition, that debate competition, um, right before we actually graduated high school. And since then I think wanted to learn English more. But then I at that time I only knew that I really enjoy reading. So I thought that why not I study why didn't I just go and study English literature in Yogyakarta. And so I made my decision, and yeah, finally decided to study in Jogja.
Oh, right, right. Of course. Okay. So, my next question will be, so we would like to know, how did you
Mhm,
get such a good mark for IELTS, especially your speaking? Could you tell us more about that?
mhm. Yeah, it's actually I didn't expect to get a 9 at all in my speaking actually. So on that day, I was just maybe because of my teaching experience also. So I use English every single day. I speak English to all my students every day. So I feel really comfortable speaking in English. I think the major problem a lot of IELTS candidates have when they do speaking tests is that they get nervous a lot. And I don't and I think that if they don't get nervous that much, I think they will be able to show their maximum speaking ability. They can show the best they have in their speaking ability. So um, but then when I did the speaking test, I didn't think at all about the marking criteria and so on. I didn't think about that. But then when the score came out, I kind of analyzed what happened in the test and break down. I broke down a little bit about what I said, and and I tried to actually match them to the marking criteria. So the first marking criteria in speaking is your task response. If I'm not mistaken, it's called task response. So it is the quality of your answer. Are they well elaborated? Do they um, are there relevant reasonings in the answers? And if it is possible, even on part one, when you are actually not expected to provide academic style answers, you should actually try to give academic style answers at the beginning of the test. That can actually give a good impression for the examiner. For example, when I took the test, the examiner, asked me this question. I still remember the question: do you like robots? So of course, the common answer would be, yeah, like robots. I talked about Power Rangers a little bit, but then I actually shifted and talked about artificial intelligence and robots in manufacturing. And I think that's why because I uh, talked about artificial intelligence and then robotic technologies in manufacturing. I think because of that topic, I scored well on a task response. And yeah. And I think on the other parts also, I also try to use, I actually didn't force myself to use different grammatical items to show my ranges, but then it just came out, when I was speaking, I use varieties of tenses, but then I use them based on the right context, and they are also proper for the topic that I was discussing. And also the vocabularies, I didn't actually memorize any specific vocabularies. I was just trying my best to use topic specific vocabularies. So all the vocabularies that I use were very specific to the topic we were discussing. And at that time, we discussed a lot about technologies. Actually, we discussed a lot about artificial intelligence, robots, and then the future of information technology, for example, at that time. So I was trying to use as many vocabularies or explain the topic based on questions given at that time. Mhm,
Wow. Okay.
mhm,
So everyone, he mentioned several tips. I hope you're taking down
mhm,
notes. So firstly, the task
mhm.
response, say something interesting. Like
Yes.
luckily that Mr. Gustin got topics about robots and he managed to kind of expand the topic to make it more interesting by saying stuff like manufacturing and also artificial intelligence.
Mhm,
Okay, and then the
mhm,
next one would be using a range of tenses. I do
mhm,
hope that all of you will, you know, use these tips. And the last
mhm.
question would be, would there be other tips to get an overall of 7.5, Mr. Gustin?
Okay. I think to get overall 7.5 can be challenging for some people. I actually want to try to actually get higher score, but then I think to get overall a high score, you need to understand how the questions in IELTS work. Like for example, in reading, there are so many types of reading questions, and each of them actually require different approaches so that you can get correct answers as quickly as possible. I didn't actually prepare prepare well for the test. I think I wish I had studied more about the strategies for reading, for example, and also for listening. But definitely, it's not only your reading ability; you also have to understand how the questions work. For example, in reading, you have to understand to do true false not given question. You have to understand the characteristics of a statement that is not given. For example, how do you differentiate it from statements that are true and false? For example, there are actually ways to identify the difference. And if you don't know those approaches, I think during the test you will definitely take more time than those who actually studied and prepare.
I see, I see. So the reading, everyone, it's quite an important component as well, as it's as
Mhm,
important as speaking and the other components. And we
mhm.
should always try to prepare before the test, right?
Yes, for all skills, listening, writing, you have to understand the questions, because if you understand the types of questions, that will definitely help you achieve the overall target band that you desire.
Yes, that is very
Mhm,
true. Okay, so
mhm,
this has been a wonderful interview with Mr. Gustin, and I hope
mhm.
that everyone has learned a lot of skills and better prepare themselves for IELTS. Thank you very much, Mr. Gustin, and
Okay, yeah,
and
I
Ms.
hope
Wu.
this can help you a little bit, you know. Mm,
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Okay, so thank
Mhm.
you very much, and see you later.